Okay, this is Jeff with CSHabuse.com. I'm speaking with Richard. And Richard, can you state your name and hospital ID number?
Richard 1321-9.
Okay, you had an incident on March 28th, 2018 with a staff member named Lauren Hill. Can you start with, Lauren Wallace? I'm sorry, I misspoke. Can you start with what happened on February 26, 2018?
On February 26th, I was moved out of my room to accommodate a racist, and because of that, I went on a hunger strike on the morning of 2/28/18. I was asleep on a chair in the TV room, in the back TV room, when Mr. Lauren Wallace came up and was yelling in my ear, "You can't sleep in here." He started kicking the back of the chair and repeatedly yelled in my ear about 3 times. At that point, he took the remote control. There was no one else in the room but me and my one-to-one. The TV was off. He took the remote for the TV, turned the TV on, and turned it up full blast, and then took the remote and left the room.
The TV was actually turned off?
Yes.
It wasn't even on?
Wasn't on. There was nobody in the room but me and the one-to-one, and the TV was not on at that time.
And her name was Sarah, correct?
I'm not sure what her name was.
Okay. And what effect did that have on you, Richard?
I felt harassed and threatened, trying to be intimidated into action against Mr. Lauren Wallace, but I refrained from any violence or any action at that time.
Okay, and how long were you in the room with the TV turned up before it was turned down?
It was about a half hour. Another patient came in and used their remote and turned the volume down.
So the TV was actually up full blast with you in the room and the other staff member just not doing anything for like a half hour?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Hill, thank you very much. Okay, this is Jeff with a DSH Abuse YouTube channel. I have with me Jerimiah. Jerimiah, can you state your full name and your hospital ID number?
Jerimiah Johnson, 2568-4.
Okay, and do you consent to being recorded and we put this on YouTube?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you're a patient at Coalinga State Hospital?
Yes.
Okay, and you're what's classified as an MDO, mentally disordered offender?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been at Coalinga?
I've been at Coalinga since 2018.
2018. Okay. And on your unit, you're what's called a ward government representative?
Yes.
Okay. You were elected by your peer population? Were you elected by the peers, or were you just appointed to that position?
I was elected by the peers.
By the other patients on your unit. How many patients are on the unit?
There's 49 other patients.
49 other patients. Okay. Are you what's considered a high-functioning patient or a low-functioning patient?
I'm a high-functioning patient.
What's the definition of a high-functioning patient?
One that is capable of taking care of themselves.
Taking care of themselves? And does that also include advocating for other patients that you see being abused?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with a staff member named Lauren Wallace?
Yes.
Okay. Was he assigned to your unit in the recent past?
About a week.
He was assigned for about a week. How long ago was that? Do you recall?
No, I don't.
By the way, today's date is January 20. What's today? The 21st, 2024. So, when he worked on your unit, about a month ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe what his conduct was towards you and other patients?
Very unprofessional, right?
Very unprofessional. Can you be more specific in the things that he said to you?
Yes,
I'm having trouble hearing you.
He was calling us pieces of shit.
Calling you pieces of shit?
Yeah.
Okay. And how often was he doing that?
Like every other day.
Every other day? What, would he just come out and just... What was the type of circumstance in which he would call you guys pieces of shit?
We would get in arguments.
Okay. You would be the patients would be in arguments with each other, or you would get in arguments with him?
We would be arguing with each other, and he would say, "Stop doing that, you pieces of shit."
Okay. So he would come out, and patients would be arguing with each other, and he'd say, "Hey, you guys," or he'd call you guys pieces of shit. Knock that off.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did the patients react to that? How did you react to that?
Angry.
Huh?
We get angry. We would get angry.
You would get angry.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, was there a situation that you had with him that you were telling me about?
Yes.
Well, can you tell me about that?
He got me to the point where I hit a wall.
You hit a wall.
Yeah.
What? Can you give me a little more detail?
He called me no good piece of shit motherfucking. Sorry about my language.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Whatever he used.
He called me a no good piece of shit motherfucking child molesting piece of shit.
He called you a no good child molesting. And did he use motherfucker? Did he use those words?
Yes, he used those words.
And he called you a child molester?
Yes.
Okay. And that made you feel really bad?
Yeah, made me feel bad enough where I hit a wall.
You hit a wall. Okay. Made you very upset. Now, did you file some kind of a patient rights complaint?
Yes, I did.
What happened with that?
It's been that he was prejudiced, and I felt threatened.
You felt threatened?
Okay.
And what happened as a result of filing that patient rights complaint?
They moved him.
They moved him. Do you know what unit he works on right now?
I don't.
You don't. I appreciate if you could try to find out for me.
I will.
Okay. Do you mind telling me what medications you're taking? Are you on any kind of medication?
I'm on Depakote, Zoloft, and heart pills.
And heart pills.
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you, Jeremiah?
Huh?
How old are you?
45.
You're 45. Okay. How are you feeling now, my friend?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you sharing your experiences with me. I'm sorry to hear what you went through, and I appreciate you telling your story today for our YouTube channel. And
no problem.
Okay. If there's any other patients up there that can tell their story about their experiences, please let me know. I'll try to check back. Huh?
I don't know of anybody that's high functioning.
And that's because they're low functioning.
Yeah.
But you did observe him abusing or being abusive towards low functioning patients?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully, maybe we can get an investigator as a result of this that will come and talk to you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
No problem.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, this is Jeff with DSH Abuse YouTube channel. Today's date is August 31st, 2024. I'm speaking with Thomas Hall on Unit 26. Tom, can you identify yourself and give me your number?
Yes, my name is Thomas Hall, and my patient number is 3006-4.
3006-4?
That's correct.
Okay. And you consent to being recorded and posted on YouTube?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about a staff member, Lauren Wallace, a psychiatric technician. You were previously housed on a unit that you worked on, I believe Unit 25, earlier this year?
Correct.
That was earlier this year?
No, that was back in 2022, 2023, and as well in 2020 when I first came back to the hospital from the conditional release program.
Okay. I'd like to ask if you can describe your interactions with him that you may have considered to be abusive.
Very threatening, very demeaning, talked to me and other people in a very abusive and derogatory way. People would say, I need clothes right now. I soiled myself. And he would retort, I said, shut the F up and wait until showers. Don't bother me. I'm doing something. Things like that.
So he would tell patients, he would tell a patient who had soiled linen, had soiled himself, to wait because he was busy?
Yes.
What kind of time frame? How long would he make him wait?
At that point, I think that was at like 10 in the morning. The patient was an older white man by the name of Dwight Stow, who's extremely mobility impaired, very, very cognitively not well. And he told him, just wait. You need to wait. I'm doing something. Slammed the office door shut. He told him, shut the F up. Mr. Stow is a devout Christian. There's several patients in this hospital that used to go to church with him when he could mobilitate and get to the church. And so it was very disheartening for me to see him treat the elderly gentleman like that. And the man had to wait for over an hour in underwears that were wet, pants that were wet. And I take that as very distressful and very demeaning. And as a patient, I wouldn't want to be treated like that. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. And you're a member of the hospital-wide ward government, correct?
The Civil Detainees Advisory Council, CDAC, that's correct.
And you were elected to that position?
I was elected by the peers here in the hospital. That's correct.
And are you considered what's considered a high-functioning patient?
I'm one of the most highest-functioning OMD/MDO patients here in the hospital, yes.
Okay. What's OMD stand for?
Offender with mental disorder.
Okay. Now, did you had a personal issue with Lauren yourself? Is that correct?
Yes, I did. I came back here in approximately March of 2020 from Conrep of Ventura County, and I was isolated in the wet room because they could not determine whether or not I was exposing people to COVID, even though I was isolated in the county jail for over 90 days waiting to come back here.
Right.
Mr. Lauren Wallace brought me a unit phone from the patient day room and told me, here, this is for you. And I said, what is this? And he said, we're going to be teaming you today over the patient phone.
Okay.
And I said, this is not a confidential phone line. This is a 600 or 900 megahertz cordless phone. Anybody could be sitting out in the parking lot with a scanner listening
Right.
to this phone call. I don't feel comfortable talking over a cordless phone to my treatment team and having them discuss why I came back from Conrep, having them discuss my medications. This is all sorts of a HIPAA violation. And he said, well, then I will put down that you refuse to attend team.
Okay. Was there another situation were you involving another patient or something?
Several. There was a 30-something-year-old Hispanic male on the unit who had defecated on himself and soiled his tennis shoes with defecation. They would not provide him with a different pair of shoes. Upon him requesting the orange shower shoes, he was told that they were out. He was walking around the unit in nothing but a pair of socks. I gave the gentleman a pair of personal shower shoes that I had purchased from Walking Horse. And they took him, a social worker by the name of Vanessa Lee, and Mr. Wallace took him into the interview room and started asking him, is Mr. Hall sucking your dick? Is Mr. Hall providing you with sexual stuff in exchange for your time? And is he providing you with gifts in exchange for your time, for sexual favors, da-da-da-da-da? And then they proceeded to tell him that I'm some kind of a sexual whatever, and that I'm a higher risk to the MDOs than most people because of my sexual past.
And Lauren Wallace was telling this to the patient?
Yes.
How do you know this?
He told me, and then other patients told me that he told them as well.
Yeah. Do you have a history of preying on other patients?
No.
Okay. Did you report any of this to any supervisors or anything? Patient rights?
I did. I did, and they just covered it up.
Okay. Do you remember any supervisors you talked to?
Brian Martinez, the Program 8 nursing coordinator.
Is that Brian Bowles?
No.
It's Brian Martinez? I haven't heard of that person.
He's the nursing care coordinator for Program 8.
Okay.
I also reported it to Frank Mall, who is the Program 8 program director.
And you specifically reported how Lauren was being abusive towards you and other patients?
Yeah, and because I filed a complaint on Lauren, not just with the hospital people here, but with licensing, I was immediately transferred to Unit 20 when it was an MDO unit. I got to Unit 20, and a staff member by the name of Rito, a tall Hispanic, slender man, started trying to accuse me of making the same kind of behaviors over there. And then I had to speak with, at the time, the program director there was Nataki Spruill, and I spoke with her about that.
What specifically?
The kind of accusations that were being made against me, the fact that those patients that he was insinuating I was doing things with could be interviewed, and they would say that I'm not doing any of that.
Right.
And sure enough, they were interviewed, and sure enough, I was not doing any of that.
Okay. All right. I think we basically covered anything of significance you think may need to be said.
Just that there are several patients that he talks down to. He's very derogatory. I've heard of several patients complain about him. He's very mean. He enforces rules that don't exist. He got ran out of the MDO hallway. He hardly ever comes to this hallway anymore because of his behaviors in this hallway.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Hall. We're going to go ahead and put this on YouTube and I'll let people know.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Excuse me? Right. Okay. I'll talk to you there. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. This is Jeff with DSH Abuse. Today's date is August 31st, 2024. I have Tom Hovanski on the phone. Tom, can you just identify yourself and give me your number?
My name is Tom Hovanski. My number is 610-6.
Okay. Hovanski?
Yep.
Okay. So I've talked to you a little earlier about Lauren Wallace, the psych tech. Can you just briefly describe your experiences with him and the problems?
He's a very abusive individual. He abuses patients. He's abused.
Okay, can you be specific?
He's abused
when
me
you
on
had a
numerous
problem with
occasions during room searches. I've gotten a fight with him where he started going through my wallet, digging through it like he thought he was the cops.
Okay.
He planted a cigarette in it, tried to get me in trouble over a cigarette and smoke. I sued him in federal court just to keep him away from me. I don't know. I mean, he's very abusive. I've seen him abuse. Why don't you listen to me?
Go ahead.
I've seen him abuse Stephen Arnold. I've seen him abuse other patients.
Okay, what time frame are we talking about?
This is back in between 2011 and 2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah, this is between 2011 and 2015.
So over about a 4 or 5 year
4
period.
years.
Yeah. What type of abuse did you see him
Physical.
perpetrate on other patients?
Physical and verbal.
Okay. I forgot to ask you. You consent to this recording, correct?
What's that?
You consent to this recording?
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to post this on YouTube. So what have you seen him do to other patients exactly?
I've seen him run into them, like walking down the hallway, just run into them with, like, get out of my way, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
I tried to agitate him?
Yeah, tried to get them all pumped up and agitated.
Okay.
I've seen him just, talk shit to him, like, hey, fuck you, you fucking pedophile. Fuck you, you fucking rapist.
Yeah, some other patients have reported the same thing, particularly some MDOs.
Right. I don't know nothing about that. All I know is what I've seen and experienced.
Okay.
He's a liar when it comes to his interactions with patients. I don't know where he learned that, but it's not cool.
Right. Okay. And your lawsuit, what happened with that?
I don't know. I went to my SVP trial, and the thing got closed because I was fighting my SVP trial. My SVP trial took 9 months, so I didn't get to pursue my lawsuit, so it got closed or whatever, however they word it.
Okay, it was just.
But I did attempt to sue him just to keep him away from me, so he wouldn't. It's published. You can read about it.
Right. Okay.
It's Hovanski versus Wallace.
Do you know where that's published at?
In the law books. Just look up Hovanski versus Wallace.
Okay. And that's federal?
Yes, it's federal. It's in Eastern District.
Okay. All right. Okay, Tom, I think that's about it. I appreciate you talking to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, sir. Good night.
Good night.
All right.